Magandang araw! Ako si Emily. Ngayon ay sisimulan na natin ang ating pagkatuto. Sa isang multi-grade na classroom, mahirap bigyan ng sapat na oras ang bawat bata. Pero may solusyon. Ito ay ang peer tutoring. Dito ay tinutulungan ng mas mahusay na estudyante ang kanyang kaklaseng nahihirapan. Halimbawa, si Kim. Si Kim ay mas naiintindihan ang kanyang binabasa kung siya ay may kasama. Sa peer tutoring, natututo ang mga bata sa isa't isa. Dito, sila ay mas nagiging independent at tumataas ang kanilang self-esteem. Sabi nga ni Alwi, isa itong paraan upang mag-produce ng mga self-managed learners at ito ay nagiging magandang paraan para sa ating pagkatuto. Simple pero epektibo.
There are three kinds of peer tutoring, which is when kids help another kid to learn. First is the same age peer tutoring. This is when a kid teaches another kid who's the same age. The one who knows more helps the one who is still learning. The second one is the cross-age peer tutoring. This kind of peer tutoring is when an older kid helps a younger kid. The older one is the teacher and the younger one is the learner. They work together and the older kid teaches or shows how to do things right. And lastly is the class-wide peer tutoring. This is when the whole class helps each other to learn. Everyone gets a turn to teach and learn.
So, merong 5 benefits ang peer tutoring. Una ay mas effective ang peer tutoring dahil mas nagkakaintindihan ang learners at tutors dahil same sila ng way of thinking at pakikitungo. Pangalawa, nakakatulong sa learning achievement ito lalo na sa mga students na nahihirapan sa lessons at may possibility na mag-drop out. Pangatlo, mas epektibo ang short structured programs dahil mas natututo yung students pagka maigsi, well-organized at mabilis lamang ang peer tutoring. Pang-apat, mas madaling intindihin ang peer tutoring dahil gumagamit ang tutors ng languages na familiar sa kanila kaya mas madaling magets ito ng student. And pang-lima, nakakatulong ito sa pag-develop ng discipline dahil nai-improve nito ang self-esteem, cooperation at magandang peer relationship ng mga students.
Meron din namang mga guidelines ang pagsasagawa ng peer tutoring. Una, susuriin muna ng guro kung ano nga ba ang kaya at kung ano pa nga ba ang kailangan pang matutunan ng mga mag-aaral sa bawat asignatura. Pangalawa, gagawa ang guro ng schedule kung kailan nga ba gaganapin ang peer tutoring at pipili siya kung sino ang magiging tutor at kung sino ang tuturuan. Ikatlo, ipapaliwanag ng guro kung ano ang gagawin, paano makatutulong, kanino tutulong, at paano maging mabait at manawain sa isa't isa habang binabantayan at ginagabayan ng guro ang mga tutor. Pang-apat naman, bago pa man magsimula ang klase, inihahanda na ng guro ang mga learning materials katulad na lamang ng mga worksheet at ipinapaliwanag din dito ang wastong pag-uugali at inaasahang kilos ng mga mag-aaral upang sa ganon ay maging maayos ang daloy ng session. Ikalima naman, naghahanda ang guro ng module or worksheet na naaayon sa antas ng pangangailangan at kakayahan ng mga mag-aaral lalo na kung magkakaiba ang antas nila sa pagkatuto. Ika-anim, ang mga aktibidad o gawain ay sinasaayos base sa pinakamadali hanggang sa pinakamahirap upang sa ganon ay unti-unting matutunan or malaman ng estudyante ang araligyon. At panghuli, nagbibigay ng malinaw at makabuluhang payo ang guro upang malaman ng mga estudyante ang kanilang mga progreso at kailangan pang pagbutihan.
Now, let's tackle the lesson 6, which is self-directed learning. Okay, let's break this down super simply. First, self-directed learning means you take charge of your own learning, like how you plan what to study, how to study it, and check if you actually learn it. You can do this alone or get help sometimes. It's not about doing everything by yourself. Some people think this is great for students, especially those in multi-grade classes. For them, it means being able to say what they pick up, how they learn it, and what they need to learn more. To make this work, you need to stay focused, believe in yourself, know what you're working toward, and be responsible for getting things done. In class, teachers use things like modules to help students learn this way.
Ang self-directed learning is a way of learning kung saan yung students natututong gumawa ng activities on their own. Kahit minimal lang yung help ng teacher sa multi-grade classroom, mahalaga ito kasi iba-iba ang level ng mga bata. hindi naman kayang tutukan ng teacher lahat ng student sabay-sabay. So sa ganitong paraan, nagiging more independent and responsible ang mga estudyante sa sarili nilang learning. Nakakatulong din ito para ma-discover nila kung ano yung learning style na mas effective sa kanila. So, merong iba't ibang activities ang self-directed learning such as creative art and play, simple science and math projects, portfolios, writing a story, and song. Although self-directed siya, guided pa rin siya ni teacher. So, para maging effective ang self-directed learning, may guidelines na sinusunod ang teacher. First is the teacher establishes high expectations, meaning naniniwala siya na kaya ng students. Second is the teacher keeps students on track. Mahalaga ito na kailangan ginagabayan pa rin ng teacher ang students para manatili sila on track. Third, step-by-step and simple instructions sa activities para kaya nilang gawin mag-isa. Fourth, handa at paayos ng materials bago magsimula. And last, binibigyan ng sapat na oras ang mga estudyante para matapos yung activity. So in short, kahit independent ang students, guided pa rin sila ng teacher para maging successful ang self-directed learning.
Howard Gardner, a professor in Harvard University, created multiple intelligence, as cited by Bender 2022, which enlarged the parameter in intelligence behavior to recognize and include all the different abilities in individuals. The theory says that all individuals have all the 9 intelligence, and they all work together for each person differently. Gardner says that almost every individual can develop all the 9 intelligence by having a good motivation and guidance. According to Armstrong Book 2009, Gardner 1983, 1993, Armstrong 1994, Tail 2000s, intelligence always engaging with one another. So there are many types of intelligence, not just one. Here are Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences. Number 1 is linguistic intelligence, good with words, speaking, writing, and understanding how language work. Number 2, logical mathematical intelligence, good with numbers and logic, solving problems, seeing patterns, and working with rules. Musical intelligence, good with sounds and music, recognizing rhythms, melodies, and different tones. Number 4, spatial intelligence, good with space and pictures, understanding space, sizes, and how things fit together. Number 5, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, good with moving the body, playing sports, making things with hands, or expressing with physical action. Number 6, intrapersonal intelligence, knows themselves well, understand feelings, goals, and how to manage themselves. Number 7, interpersonal intelligence, good with people, working in groups, communicating, and getting along with others. Number 8, naturalistic intelligence, good with nature, telling apart plants and animals, and understanding how the nature world works. And lastly, existential intelligence, thinks about big life questions like why are we here or what's the meaning of life.
Gardner's multiple intelligences theory holds that while our various intelligences are connected, they are also quite different from one another. Because of this, teachers can help students learn more successfully when they consider these differences while planning and teaching their lessons, and they're encouraged to find ways to bring MI theory into their classroom work. As outlined by researchers, MI theory can be used to reach 3 key goals: teaching in ways that fit how a student learns best, motivating learners to grow their skills and develop all their intelligences to their fullest potential, and respecting and celebrating the diversity of how people learn and process information. One approach that puts this idea into practice is center-based learning activity, which is a student-focused educational setup designed to offer many different ways of learning and teaching. CBLA recognized that everyone has multiple intelligences, so it builds complete learning spaces where students can enhance their ability to think about things from different angles, make connection between various ideas, and develop practical life skills and like managing time, working with others, being accountable, and adapting to change. In this approach, students work on their own, with a partner, in small group, and as a part of a whole class. So both collaboration and independent work are emphasized.
Ito naman ang mga guidelines sa center-based learning na tumutugon sa multiple intelligences. Una ay mamili tayo ng theme, halimbawa ang kalikasan, at itanong ang mga sumusunod. Paano ko magagamit ang salita para sa mga linguistic learners? Paano ko isasama ang bilang para sa mga logical at mathematical learners? May visual aids ba para sa mga visual learners? At may galaw ba para sa mga bodily kinesthetic? May tugtugin ba para sa ating mga musical? Group work sa mga interpersonal? May journaling kaya para sa mga intrapersonal? Meron kaya tayong outdoor activities para sa mga naturalistic? And lastly, meron ba tayong mga malalalim na tanong para sa mga ating existential learner? Pagkatapos ay gumawa ng mga learning centers na may proper materials sa bawat intelligence. Sa ganitong paraan ay mas matututo ang bawat estudyante sa paraan na bagay sa kanila. Sana ay may natutunan kayo sa video na ito. Maraming salamat, hanggang sa muli!